welcome to Simply Made Homestead. Now, first things first, I want to apologize for my appearance, but I kind of don't because we are a homestead. I've been out in the garden working and getting our first real harvest of different plants in the garden, and I'm just really excited about it, and I wanted to share it with you. Now, if you are new to the channel, we are on an acre of land, 1.2 acres of land, and we are growing and building our homestead here. So we're trying to get as much as we can on an acre of land. As far as livestock, we have chickens, quail, and 2 Nigerian Dwarf goats right now. And we do have a good sized garden, and today was our first good harvest. So I wanted to share with you, because I also, if you're new to the channel, I've always said that I will be upfront and tell you what worked, what didn't, and what we learned from it. So tips and tricks. Oh, look at there. Look what we have on the carrot. Does anybody see that? See that? It's a pretty little worm. Isn't that a butterfly worm? I think it is. I'm gonna keep him and ask my husband about him. So anyway, I want to show you what went on in the garden. Now, the first thing I want to share with you, this is something that I have read, and this is my first time trying it, so I don't know if it works, but I'm letting you know that this is what I'm doing, and we're going to see if it works, and I will sure let you know. So you'll be able to find out the results in our garden tour. I will go through this plant. This is a flat leaf parsley, and let you know how things are going. Now, see this big one right here? This is where it's shooting up. It feels like it's done its business, and now it's trying to go to seed. So when it does that, all the leaves around here, they'll get really thin and sparse, and they tend to get a little more bitter, and they're not great for the kitchen. So I've always in the past, like, man, it's gone. I try to cut them back. And it didn't work. But anyway, I read that if you cut every bit of it off right to the root, that they will grow back like a new plant. So I've done that. That's what all this is about. So this big guy right here, I'll give to the chickens. And then the rest of this I will put in the kitchen, and we'll try to salvage and use in some dishes over the next few days. Okay. Now, right here, these are tomatoes in Central Florida. They're just a pain, I'm telling you. The rain has started here. That's why I look like such a horrible, worse mess than I normally do. The humidity is here. It's at 100% most days because it rains every day. And the tomatoes start getting really full of water, and they get real watery, and they don't have that really sweet tomato taste if the fungus and the bugs don't get to them first, which we've really been fighting that, and we've held that off pretty good. But now the rains are here. I would love a high tunnel, I'm gonna tell you, just to grow tomatoes and peppers in, because the sun can be really harsh on the peppers and can burn the skin. So anyway, so that's why I went ahead and picked some of these. They're so close and they haven't split yet, and we're like 60% chance today. So I went ahead and picked some that we're getting close. They were nice size. I'll put on the counter and see how they do. See, like that one right there, that's what happens when it gets too much water at one time. And our tomatoes, we were watering every other day, and letting it was a drip line and letting it water for like 2 hours. So but anyway, so they've been getting water, but then when it just comes all in a flash flood, you know, they just fill up too fast, and that's what happens to them there. So if your tomatoes are close to being ripe and you've got rain coming, pick them. I know we love to let them ripen on the vine. That's absolutely the best way to ripen them, but if you've got rain coming, go ahead and pick them and bring them inside and just put them on your windowsill, on your counter, upside down like that, top side down, and let them ripen the rest of the way. Now, we only have 2 eggplants. I don't know if this variety is supposed to get bigger than that. I like that size. You don't have the big seedy stuff on the inside. We've been picking them small like this, and we have just been getting boo-koodles of them. I wish I knew what it was. I thought I had a tag over there, but I don't. And I try to keep the tag on the vegetables because, Lord, I'll never remember what brand or what kind of pepper or eggplant it is. But anyway, so those are those. We've already put 2 batches of these in the dehydrator, which worked out really, really well. I just sliced them a 1/4 inch thick. I did 1 full dehydrator plain so that I can keep those to the side and put them in soups and stews and things like that. And then the other one we seasoned with 3 different seasonings I used. Like I used, I think, Lowry's on one, and some Italian seasoning on another, and I can't remember the third. I thought there was a third. But anyway, we did those because my husband loves to just munch on them like that. And I read where they're really good for dips. And so I thought maybe I could get something healthy into my grandchildren like that. So now I've got a few beans here. These are see, they're turning yellow, and it's hard to dry on the vine when you've got rain all the time. So once they get nice and full and start turning color a bit, I have started picking them. These are the Mother Stallard. They are so pretty. I just love them. And then, here, let me open one up for you. From what I have never the first time growing them, but from what I've read, they're really good in soups and stews as well, or you can cook them and use them in salads because they hold up really well. But it's a really pretty little purpley and white bean. Now these are the Trail of Tears here. That's a little one. They're full, the vine is just full of these big, long, beautiful beans. They are a black bean. And yeah, I love black beans. So I'm just really, really excited about our beans this year. Okay, oh, and our jalapenos. Now, our jalapenos are doing really well. Here's a big one. Here's a not so big one, but it's starting to, see how it's getting the little stripy things on there. I have read that too, shows when they start turning colors or getting the stripes, you definitely need to pick them. So, but that one's a big whopper, so I went ahead and picked him. But a lot of these have the little, look, something got in that one. I didn't see that. Yep, bored a little hole in there, but that's okay. We do spray our garden with, we tend to go BT and spinosad, do one and then the other. And we've been doing it every other week because we've gotten into bug season, big time bug season. They love the humidity and they love the heat. So anyway, they are organic, and so we have been spraying with those. So anyway, and I made some jalapeno jelly the other day. We haven't tried it yet, but I'm thinking maybe a little cream cheese on a cracker, a little jalapeno jelly on top of the cream cheese. Oh my goodness, sounds amazing. We'll have to see. So, but down here, we picked a bunch of corn the other day, and I put some up, and I started the video, and the end of it, I managed to not hit, it was on photo anyway, so I missed the end of the video. So I am going to redo that and show you how to make the best, yummiest cream corn. At least it's my favorite. I love corn, but cream corn, oh my goodness gracious alive. So we have, like I said, the bugs have just invaded the garden. My husband's out there picking them off twice a day. We're pulling our harvest as quick as it's ready. Corn, don't you want not my water over? Corn has come to visit. Oh, I know, his name is Corn Dog. But anyway, speaking of corn, so he's been out there picking the bugs. I even sprayed midweek because we're having so much rain, because with it being organic, it does, it washes away. So, but anyway, it's looking pretty good. I went out and got a few more this morning, some nice ones. Like a couple of them are a little thinner. See, this one's a little thinner, but I think it's still, a good size. I don't want to peel it yet. Oh, let's peel it. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I could just bite right in that. Look at that. No worms in the top. Look at that beautiful ear of corn. That is gorgeous. And we do have a video out on caring for your corn. So be sure and watch that, because this is our first year of really having a cornfield, and I'm really pleased with it. Very, very happy with it. I wish I'd have planted it a little bit quicker, a little sooner. Life can get busy, and then you're like, I don't have to. I can do it tomorrow. I can do it next week. I know I'm late. Next week, next year, it will be my priority, for sure, because once the humidity gets here and the bugs get here, it's hard. It is really hard, and it's just sad to think that I sit in the house thinking there are bugs out there eating all my stuff. But anyway, all right, now, I know I keep referring to videos, guys, but there are things that I have learned, and if it interests you, that's why I put it out there. Because on germinating carrots, I had a really hard time germinating carrots to start with. I tried the board method. I tried just sprinkling in the soil and keeping it moist. And while both of them I got a little bit, it wasn't very successful. So anyway, I did find a different way to do it. Involves a Ziploc bag and a paper plate. There is a video out called Easy Peasy Carrot Germination, and it really is. But anyway, these carrots right here are how they are the product of doing it that way. Now on these right here, once again, life was busy. I had carrots that had germinated. They'd actually gone a little too far, and the sprouts had started turning green. So they were big. There were a bunch of them. It was hard to separate them. I like, where am I going to plant them? I had planted stuff everywhere, and I threw them right down in the middle of, because I'd planted garlic around like in a U shape at the end of the raised bed. And I was like, where am I going to plant these? And I was like, well, hello, Rocky. So anyway, I thought, where am I going to plant these? So that one spot in the middle of all that garlic was the only spot I had. It was a narrow spot, literally like that wide, and about 2 feet, maybe 3 feet long. And I thought, I'll put them there. So I didn't even know if they would work well with garlic. Now, afterwards, after I'd planted them, I did some research and found out that that is a wonderful place to plant your carrots, because the garlic keeps those critters away that love to eat carrots. So that part was just, it worked out beautifully. That's why I always say, you know, just go for it. It may not work out, but it just might. So anyway, so I just threw a whole bunch of carrots, sprouted carrots down there. They came back beautifully. They grew beautifully. I never thinned them, which I should have, because some of my carrots are big and beautiful like this, and then I have a lot of little guys because they were all stuck together, because I didn't thin them. So see, I mean, that's not a bad size. I'm happy with that size. There's a big wide whopper right there. That's a nice big thing right there. And so anyway, so that's my lesson there. I really throw them down wherever. Go ahead and go for it. But when they're really, really thick, it's a really good idea to at least thin it a little bit so you can have a little bit better crop, because I've already harvested a couple of batches of carrots before, and when you're harvesting carrots and you've got these little fellas, they're just a little more tedious and a little bit of a more trouble trying to clean and stuff. So now we do have goats, so these carrot tops, I'm going to cut these off. I won't give them all of them, but I'll give them a nice big bunch of carrot tops, because they are good for goats, and they're full of vitamin A, and so they're gonna love that. They won't eat the root. They don't like the root, but they love the tops. They love the tops. So, okay, now this year was also our first year growing garlic, and I read, don't pick your garlic when it's wet out, because it could be stained. Well, I don't care if it's stained, and it's never dry anymore. I guess I should have picked it last month, but I kind of dug around the ball of it and the bulb of it, and you know, I was just hoping for a little bigger, so I left it. But now we're getting so much rain, and there's so much of the, see the dead part, you know, and the green, and it needs to be, from what I understand, about a third of the bottom is dead and then the rest is green. You need to pull it. So that's what I did today. Even though the ground was moist, I pulled it, and I may have stained garlic, and I don't care as long as I have garlic. So there you go. Now, I do wish that my bulbs were a little bit bigger. So we are going to test our soil this winter and find out exactly what it's deficient in and see what's going on, because we haven't done that. Everybody always recommends to do that, but I was so excited about having a garden and planting, I just went to planting and hope for the best. So eternal optimist here. And so anyway, you know, that's a pretty nice size one, but it's still, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, maybe we could do a little bit better, or maybe that's good. So if you have any ideas or suggestions about that, please let me know in the comments below, because I am learning, and I am open for suggestions and information and all like that. So now I am going to, I really wish I had a place inside, so it wouldn't be, they would be in a drier environment, but I really don't. So I'm going to put these on the back porch where they won't be in direct sunlight, and I do have like a wire rack, one of those silver racks I got from Lowe's. Okay, sorry guys, I got hair in my eye, and or something, and I'm going to lay them up there, and I'm going to let them dry. So I'm hoping that it won't be too humid out, that will keep them from drying. If it does, I'm gonna have to figure out something else, but that's where I'm gonna start. So, all right, so that's what we got from our garden today. And we do have zucchini growing that I just planted about 2 weeks ago. I told you, procrastinator. We've got watermelons that are growing and vining, and so once again, those were late plant, but we're hoping for the best. And we have sweet potatoes and we have peanuts, and both of those should be ready in August. And I am super excited about both, because our sweet potatoes, we grew our own slips this year, and so we've got 2 long rows. We've got like 48 feet of sweet potatoes, and gosh, I don't know, about 75 feet of peanuts, and okra, and the roselle hibiscus. So even though some of these things are playing out, we do have things that are still growing, they're still producing, and we still got all kind of fun stuff to come. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If videos like this are helpful to you, or if you enjoy videos like this, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications so you won't miss a thing. So until next time, take care. God bless.